Denise Roche.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill, as it's being reported back to the House, is admittedly softer than what went to the Select Committee, but it's not soft enough and it's still very nasty, so we won't be supporting it. It's still an attack on urban trees, as we've heard from the previous speaker, and it still continues to ensure economic considerations get precedence over environmental protections like water use, for example, in planning decisions. It undermines local decision-making and will reduce public participation in planning processes, but it leaves councils with more risk around litigation. And it completely messes around with the unitary plan process and democracy and accountability in Auckland. The bill essentially takes the RMA, which is a comprehensive piece of legislation that has been in existence since 1991, and it fiddles with the bits that the government finds inconvenient. The bill is another attack on local government. It's an ongoing theme from this government, and it won't stop with this bill. This afternoon in the House during question time, we heard from the Minister for the Environment say that she was thinking about another amendment to the Resource Management Act before this one's even been finalised, and this time she wants to amend it because some pesky councils might want to restrict the planting and use of genetically modified organisms in their area. Some councils feel they might want to safeguard their environment, and it's smart for them to actually think about safeguarding their environment because most councils have had to deal with a deregulated building sector that brought forward the saga on the leaky buildings, which actually cost councils an enormous amount of money. The Greens are also opposed to the 6-month time limit to processing medium-sized developments, which forgets to take into account that sometimes it's the developer that slows down the process. It's the removal of local participation in decision-making that I find most offensive in the bill as it's being reported back. Democratic processes seem to be unheard of in the national government vocabulary. Hardest hit by this lack of consideration, of course, is Auckland. The bill continues the government's track record of stomping on Auckland Council and Auckland ratepayers who elected the Auckland Mayor, the Auckland councillors and the 21 local boards and their members. The provisions in this bill around the Auckland Unitary Plan are designed to undermine the council and to hastily push through a unitary plan that favours the government's developer friends. We're not opposed to having a combined plan in Auckland. What we are opposed to is the Minister for the Environment and the Minister for Conservation appointing the hearings commissioners and setting their terms of reference. We maintain that this decision should be made by our Auckland Council representatives because it is an Auckland plan. The short time frame to get the unitary plan finalised is also a concern. It reduces genuine public consultation. When it's combined with the sidelining of the Environment Court and only allowing appeals to the council, if the council rejects a hearing panel recommendation, it's designed to cut out ordinary citizens from the processes. The plan effectively becomes a one-stop process, which means that the quality of the decision-making may be a lot worse than unitary plans elsewhere. Once more, Auckland is being singled out. Aucklanders won't be able to challenge this plan except on very narrow points of law. We oppose the provisions in this bill that gives hearings panels the power to make recommendations on any other matter that no submitter may have raised, because this goes against natural justice. On a personal note, I am pleased that this government has decided that the Hauraki Gulf Islands District Plan won't be included in the Auckland Unitary Plan, and that's because it has taken an enormous amount of effort and time and expertise to get as far as we have with that plan, and there are still problems with it, which are still being resolved. All in all, we won't be supporting this bill because it doesn't do what it's set out to do.
I call Claudette Howitt.
Mr. Speaker, for Waitangi, I rise to speak to the